Alright, y'all. In today's video, I am going to demonstrate the process I'm currently going to be using in the situation with the white ink separating and having such a long line. I did want to note that this printer has been sitting now a full week waiting on the maintenance ink tank to arrive, and I have been agitating the inks that are in here for the sake of the ones that are in this little small chamber. But I have not taken out the cartridges and shaken them up. Now, I did want to show and point out, I don't know if you can really see, but the ink goes clear in this area and in this area. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate to you what I'll be doing to cycle my inks. And this will be the maintenance until further notice. I'd rather be safe than sorry, because at the end of the day, if you do a nozzle print or a nozzle check or clean, you are dumping out some of the chemical needed to mix properly the formula that's needed to create the DTF, if I'm making sense. You know, it's kind of like if you need half cup of water, half cup of ink to create something, and you throw out the water, it's not going to create. So I want to make sure all of my liquids are together. So this is the process I'm going to take. All right. I'm going to start off by coming over to the tank and agitating those inks in there. I pretty much already did this morning, but you want to ensure that you're really shaking them up. The ink has separated over on this side as well. As you can see, it's pretty much see-through. So this is how we're going to fix the problem. We're going to start off with our handy dandy clips. And I do have the printer that is on a error mode because my maintenance tank has not arrived, but I figured since I've been impatiently waiting this long, I'm going to actually just get the maintenance done, so when the tank comes, all I have to do is put it in and move on to the next step. So I'm going to take my syringe, if you guys can see that. Let me make sure that you guys are being in. Guys, you're going to want to open up the ink. Make sure that you're looking at it. You want to open it up and put it in the corresponding plugs. You want to do it one at a time so you don't accidentally put it in the wrong spot. Let me remove the plug. Remove the plug from the cartridge. Grab your color syringe. You should have either a new one or the color-coded one that you've already used for that color. And we are going to just start removing ink. Now the white one is the only one to do this. However, I'm going to do it with the rest of my inks, because you never know. It's only going to take me a moment, and I personally don't mind having to do this. Have yourself some napkins, as you're going to need it. I have a piece of felt and some fabric. Again, this is really only needed on the white ones. I'm just not certain about that, so I'm going to do all inks. Going forward, I'm just going to do the white. But, alright, I think about 3 of them should be okay. I'm gonna skip to the white to make this short and sweet. Give me a second. Alright, give me 1 second because I was... Alright. I had used a syringe for my wet capping, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any of the solution. So I'm going to do the white, rush through and do the white, only for video purposes to get this short and sweet. The process for all the other colors, if you're wanting to do so, is pretty much the same. I have not heard of any other color being done but the white. But you know me, I'm OCD, so I do everything extra. Alright, I'm going to put it in the white. I'm removing it from the gray, so I'm going to put it in the gray. Alright. There's also air in my line, so I'm not getting out as much as I'd like at once. So I'm going to do this a few times. Like I said, I'm not sure how many times it's needed, but I'd like to make sure it's done properly. Alright, so I've done one. I'm going to do the other. now that you've done that, you want to cover your inks and give this a good shaking. This is technically the back. I still haven't set up the line how I anticipate, so that's another story. All right, guys, that is pretty much the maintenance that is required. As you see, the line is no longer milky. It's pretty dark white. And I'm just waiting on the tank. And then we'll talk about wet capping when I can move my print head.